Hey guys, welcome back. Let's try this again. I recorded and I didn't press record, so I may do it a little bit shorter this time, so I'm going to have to rehash everything I just did, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to show was the weekly chart, just to show a little bit of what we're heading into. Um, it's really nice on this recovery after the huge dip here that we've been having, but we are headed right into the resistance cloud on the weekly here. So it's going to be a bit tough to get through this cloud. I mean, we have pretty heavy resistance up until December, right? But that doesn't mean that the stock price can't jump or anything like that. But it very well might bounce down and head along here, which we definitely don't want. But the reasons I think that it won't be bad and the reason I think we can go through this are indications like this. Our lagging indicator back here is above the price right here, so we're on a positive trend. We just got a buy signal back in the end of August, and it's still going up, and it's actually deviating still a little bit away from the red, which is very nice there. And as you can see on the weekly, we're actually already testing up into this huge candle. So we're going to keep doing that, I think, until $1.18, and that might be a little bit heavier resistance there. As you can see, the bottom of those candles equal the top of this cloud over here. So I think the big test is going to be between 105 and 118, and that's going to be what we start to see tomorrow. I do think we'll see a slight dip tomorrow, possibly around 95, 94 or so, but we'll get a little bit into that on the other chart here and see why I think that. But I just wanted you guys to see on the weekly, we do have a bit of resistance coming up, but I think it is going to be time to finally break over that resistance on the weekly. I think the tides are changing for this one. And the reason I think that partially is because of what we can see here on the daily chart. As you can see on the daily chart, we are well above this resistance pool right here. And our blue line is still deviating very strongly away from the red, even with our red candles today. And our lagging indicator is still well above what we're looking at here on the candles. So extremely positive trend, deviating still away from the red, not getting even close to a sell signal, and it just looks very, very strong for what we're looking at. And as you can see at the top of this candle right here, this 105 area, that's actually above these pretty big candles and spikes back over here back in January. So we are getting above levels that we were testing 8 months ago, which is very nice to see. Now granted, we still have this huge gap to deal with, right? But since there's nothing there, it very easily could just gap up to the bottom right here, or even up to this right here in the $40s range. Because as you can see, it's just pretty empty. It's a very quick price rejection and then a crash, right? But all these candles are rather large in my opinion. So there's definitely room for us to pop and go through. And it's just a matter of how much buying pressure and everything that we have going on the next few days as we get into that resistance cloud on the weekly. And I think that that will still happen. We had a bit of short attacking today when we're getting up to 105, and that's what pushed us down a bit. And we can actually see that a bit better on the 30-minute here, which we will do right now. So if we pull up the 30-minute, you can actually see where those shorts today pushed us through some resistance and made us, go through the green cloud, through the red cloud. But what I think is really interesting, regardless of how badly it looks like it dipped today, we had a little bit of a double bottom here, 2 30-minute periods in a row at 85, and look how strong that price rejection was. I mean, as soon as we got down here pretty much, it was just getting soaked up the whole time, and these candles were really consolidating around 90 cents, even though we had dips down to 85. And again, I just want to say, look at the nice V shape. Just immediately rejected it. It was like, no sir, we're not going to be this price, because if you get us this price, we're going to buy all of your shorts, and we're just going to go right back up. And you can even see this right here in the blue line. Look how immediately, it's just flat, right? It just immediately stopped, and then super sharp positive uptrend at the end of the day here. So we're about to actually approach another buy signal underneath the cloud here, which should help push us up through. And if we look at the RSI had plenty of time to cool off on the 30-minute, and we're now inching back upwards, and we're still only at 54. So that's basically in the middle. We have about 24 points up to get to 80 where we're overbought. And again, it just looks so strong on that price rejection that I don't think we're going to be consolidating much in this 95 range. I mean, we very well could dip back to it, but I think that we're going to honestly try to go up and test this dollar range again. Because if you look, if it continues this path, we're going to go through such a skinny cloud that it is not that much resistance here at 98, 99 or so. It should easily pass through this angle right here, in my opinion. But if pull up the 10-minute, and we can see kind of after hours here. On the 10-minute, you can see again, we've already passed through a bit of that resistance, and we're still above it, even with those little dips after hours, and we're approaching a buy signal again. So again, we might dip down, and as you can see, that 95 right here is the top of that support cloud. So again, we might dip down to 95 tomorrow, but I think that the price rejection is going to continue, and we should keep going upward, in my opinion. Again, if we pull up the 60-minute here, we got forced in through the support. We got a sell signal right here above the cloud, but on that rejection, we immediately are heading back into a buy. So if this can continue, if we can pop out of the cloud again right here at 95, if we can pop out of this cloud and hold it tomorrow, I think that's a very good sign, because our next little bump in there is at like 99 cents, $1, and that is very good support for us. I think we've consolidated so long at this range right here that it should be just fine to pop back up there. And again, we've tested down here and immediately rejected it. And us testing down here lets us fill all this gap right here where these green bars were. It's kind of a big jump. And we also filled this right here, this other huge candle right here, right? On the way back up. You can see it right here. So we've filled our gaps, I think, for most of this jump. And it's now time for us to test these resistances and see how far we can go high tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if we peak out around 104 for close. I would like to see us close around 106 though. But again, it's going to depend on just how much buy pressure we have. And if we can get a really nice buy signal tomorrow on the 10-minute or 60-minute, that would be amazing. But again, don't be scared if you see 95 tomorrow. I would really only be scared if you see us hitting 85 again, because we rejected that price so hard that if we're dipping down to that again, that just shows some pretty weak hands, and it just needs more time at that point. But again, I think it's looking really strong. I'd like to do just a quick fib and see how that goes. So we will, let me go to the 10-minute and turn off extended hours really quick. Let's go back to the 60-minute. Okay, and you can really see that price rejection really nicely on the 60-minute. Let's get our fib fan out. We'll go on this dip here. Actually, we'll even go way back to this dip here. And let's see if we can't find a nice little trend. Yeah, that looks pretty good actually. We may do this one. Yeah, that looks a bit better actually. There we go. So yeah, so we're kind of cycling around a little bit high. We couldn't really hold this upper fib zone. So instead we went horizontal, we tested the middle. We consolidated for quite a bit. And we tried to test the middle again, and right there we couldn't hold it. That was our 105 range. We couldn't really hold the top. And then that's when the buying pressure kind of slowed down, and those shorts were able to take over and really crush us today. The shorts made some pretty good money today if they held 105 to 85. That's a nice 20-cent drop today. But again, we recovered all the way back to $1 by close, and then we were at $1, I believe, or no, that was a different stock. But I mean, we still recovered just fine to 96, and that is not bad at all. I mean, for how hard this went down, I am not worried at all about it. Um, it's definitely had plenty of consolidation in this zone, and it just the shorts got a hold of us for a little bit. It wasn't that big of a deal. But again, this price rejection is amazing. As you can see, we're still in our fib zones, and we should test this one going through, and hopefully, end up back around $1 pretty soon. I think if we can get to $1 by, yeah, actually, if you look here, we have a chance tomorrow around maybe 10:30 or 11 if this continues to get back to $1. So just keep an eye on the 60-minute, keep an eye on the 15-minute, see how it goes, and we'll figure it out from there. All right, have a good night, guys.